video. Take one. I always move it too soon, don't I? Okay guys, hi. And of course my computer says blackout. I am doing this video for AliWisha1. Miss Christine has requested information on the scooter rental that we did while we were at Disney World this past May. A couple of things I want to put out there very first of all. I am not sponsored, paid, or trying to promote any company other than just give my truthful, honest opinion on our experience and how it worked for us. I'd also like to put out there the reason I was in a scooter for this trip. I am not young. I have never been the super skinny athletic person. I have severe knee and ankle problems now. I don't need opinions and debates on how to solve these. Know how to do it, but I appreciate your love. And I rented a scooter on the total notion that I wanted us to be able to do more than 3 things while we were at Disney. And had I tried to walk, we would have not accomplished a third of what we did while we were there. Thankfully, my hubby is a tough trooper and was able to do all the walking that he needed to do, but had he needed assistance, we would have managed. We would have figured it out and done what we had to do for him. If it took turns on the scooter, we would have taken turns on the scooter. So anyway, with that said, let me just get right into it. I rented from a company called Sun Scooters. I will post a little pic of it right here. A little video that I took of it. Oh, sorry, before I go on with this, also, I will try to link information, but I can tell you guys right now, every time I have tried to link something, it never works. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have even looked on YouTube how to try to link and it still doesn't work. So I will post inside the video little clips of the little places that I'm talking about. But if the links don't work, I'm super duper sorry. I am not a video, YouTube, computer genius person. Anyway, okay, moving on. We rented from Sun Scooters. The prices were okay. I will not show their prices. I also will not rent from this company again. I rented the scooter 2 months before we left. A month before we got down to Florida, I called to change the time for delivery and they said, okay, no problem. We got there. It was 20 minutes past delivery time, so I called to see how much longer they thought they were going to be. And he's like, well, no, we're delivering at 6 and not 3. I said, no, I called and spoke to you. You updated to 3 and you said that was okay. It came down to him basically calling me a liar and they would be there at 6. Just get the dang scooter here at this point. I just want to get to Disney World. So anyway, it did get delivered at 5:30 instead of 6. Whoop-de-doo-dah. That meant all the fast passes I had planned for Animal Kingdom that day were pointless because the park closes at 6. So we ended up not doing Animal Kingdom our first day, our arrival day, as we had planned. We ended up going to Hollywood Studios, which was fine. We still had a blast. Had fun with that. The scooter itself was not the scooter that I rented. It was not made for a person who is over 250 pounds, and it had trouble. On the second day that we had it, we were at Epcot. We got caught in the downpour to beat all downpours, even for Florida. It was a massive downpour. It got wet. I was never once told I needed to cover it. I know some scooters you have to cover and some you don't. I know this because my father is on one. And I think if a company needs you to cover their equipment, they should provide a cover or at least say to you, make sure it gets covered. Nothing was said to us about this. So it got rained on really hard, and by the time we got back to the resort, the buzzer for the backup button, which by the way didn't work anyway, the horn didn't work, which you see in the Chef Mickey video. Goofy tries to beep the horn. It never worked. So anyway, that came on. Anytime you turned the key on, the buzzer came on, and I got to ride through the resort going beep all the way to our room. I tried desperately to dry it out. I sat with a hairdryer on it for quite some time. It didn't work. I called the company. It was like 10:30 at night or 11 o'clock at night. I get a phone call the next morning at about 7:30, getting pretty much cussed out about how I'm treating his equipment bad, if they have to come in and exchange it or repair it again, that they were going to charge me. No, and it doesn't say that in their contract either, by the way. I have read the contract twice. I pretty much told him, just bring me another freaking scooter. And they did get us a scooter, and we were able to make our lunch reservation that day, but we missed our first fast pass for that day. So anyway, that being said, I will never rent from Sun Scooters again. Never, ever. They were not nice to their... Now the delivery person, he was a little sweetheart. Part of me likes to think it's just because he was a really nice guy, and part of me also thinks that it was just because he's a salesperson, and you know how salespeople talk you up and try to make you feel better even though they know that what they're doing is wrong. So, with that said, moving on. While we were at the parks, I continually talked to other people who were on rental scooters. The two companies that I was repeatedly told have the best scooters, the best service, and really good prices in compare. One was called Tanner Scooters, and the other one is called Buena Vista Scooters. Tanner Scooters, when we went in May, their company was only 7 months old, and their scooters were all like brand new. The scooter I got from Sun looked like it was about 15 years old and had been beat the crap out of. So back to Tanner. I spoke to 4 different people on Tanner scooters. All of them were my size, or even the one gentleman was bigger than me. He had to weigh more than me. He said he was on his 3rd day, hadn't charged it yet, and it was still on full power and going like the band. Like, no trouble with this scooter at all. If you've ever been to Disney, there is a lot of hills. There is a lot of up and down, and like even getting into some of the ride queue areas when you go in through the handicap access. You're going downhill, and then to leave, as you mostly know, you walk up to go out. So that means you're going uphill. That's a big drain on those batteries and on the gears. And he said he didn't have a single bit of trouble with it. So, Tanner, should we go back and I still be in need of a scooter, I will be calling Tanner. The second one that we heard, that I talked to several people about, and they had rented multiple times from this company, was the Buena Vista Scooters. The one lady, bless her heart, she said her and her family come every year, and every year they rent from Buena Vista, and she said from minute one they have had impeccable service with Buena Vista. The reviews that I read for them were all pretty good. There was one review where the customer was pretty honked off. But, I mean, you can't keep everybody happy all the time. It's just never going to happen. So, those were the 2 companies that I was told to really look into the next time if I needed to. The third option, if you don't want to rent outside of Disney parks, is renting one in Disney parks. The disadvantage to renting a scooter inside Disney parks is they are costly. On average, to rent a scooter from an outside company for 6 days is approximately $175 to $200. That's for the entire 6 days, ladies and gentlemen. You can get it at 8 o'clock in the morning and have it picked up at 11 o'clock at night. And that's another thing, is they deliver them to you. They bring them to you and they pick them up. Some of them won't come to your room. Some of them will. It depends on the company. Some of them tell you Disney doesn't want them to take them to your room, and some of them say Disney doesn't care. So that verdict is still up in the air. I actually did not talk to a Disney parks person about that, so I don't know which one is true. But I do know that even if it's just delivered to your resort, it's still better than renting from Disney parks. The other benefit is when you're renting one outside of the park from a company off property, is that it's yours all the time. You take it to your room. You have it to go to lunch with. You have it to go to breakfast with. You have it, if you want to leave Magic Kingdom and go to the Contemporary for Chef Mickey's or whatever, the scooter goes with you. And you don't have to walk to the buses. You don't have to walk to, the monorail. don't know where I got drawn from that. So that's a benefit of renting off property. If you rent on property, you don't take it out of the park. You can't take it to your resort. You can't take it, say you don't want to stay on Disney property the whole time. You want to go to Universal. You want to go to one of the malls and shop. That scooter is yours to take with you. Now remember, when you're calling a cab company, you need to tell them that you need a handicap accessible van. And that, I don't know if they cost more. I don't think they should, but I'm not a cab driver, so I don't know. So those are like the biggest advantages to renting off property. The price, the accessibility, and the fact that it is your scooter the whole time. Oh, I thought you said something. And then renting on property, prices per day, it's $50 for the scooter per day. And then there's a $20 key deposit. You get the $20 back. If you pay in cash, they give it to you in cash. If you put it on card, it just goes back on your card. If you go to another resort, or another park, and you want to rent another scooter, you can tell them that you've already paid the deposit and it can transfer to the next park. Or no, the rental can transfer to the next park. So anyway, check out all of the park details. Check out, all of the scooter rental details. Make sure you read those contracts too, because the guy at Sun seriously tried to convince me that it was in my contract that I had to pay him. And I'm like, no, I don't have to pay you. This is your scooter. Come get it and give me something that works. So, and word to the wise, just cover it. But by the same token, he should have just told us it needed covered. So there's my scooter video. I don't think I have anything else to say. Double check my notes. Sorry if you hear the baby. He's not happy out there. Yep, that's all my notes. I just, don't be embarrassed about doing it. I don't ride in a scooter at home. Now granted, the last couple times we've been at Walmart, I've been hopping in a scooter. Why not? They're there. If the kids can ride around in them to play around and have fun, I can ride in it and get more done and not be in misery for the rest of the night. I'm going to ride the scooter if I feel I need to. But it was still, we had fun. We had a blast because we were able to do so much more. Am I right, hun?
You're right.
My knee, I just can't walk. I cannot walk distances. I can't walk. It's just sad. Do I know I need to work on that? Yes. But the point was, right then, I can't change anything to fix it as we're there. We wanted to have fun. I wanted us to go do as much as possible. And I'm really, what I'm maddest about now about this whole trip? The stupid rain. It messed up so many of our plans and cut off so much of what we wanted to do. But we can't stop that. You can't help that. We still had a blast. I still count this up as one of my favorite trips of my lifetime. This time with my husband and just doing what we wanted to do. We didn't have to refer to anybody else. He didn't have to stop every 20 minutes, and not even 20 minutes, every 10 seconds, and wait on me to rest for 20 minutes so we could move on for 5 minutes. Renting the scooter allowed me so much more freedom and so much more access to things that we wouldn't have done. We just wouldn't have been able to do it. It didn't stop me from doing anything. There was not a single ride that I couldn't get on because I am transferable. I can get up and walk over to the ride. There are some rides, if you can't transfer, then you're not going to be able to ride them, and that part sucks. But if you're able to stand up from it and walk onto the ride, you are open to every ride in that park. And you can get to it because you're in a scooter and you don't have to stop every 5 minutes or be in so much pain that you're not even enjoying the experience itself. That was something else. I didn't have blisters the size of quarters on my feet, which I always get. I didn't have my knee swollen up like this by the end of the night. I didn't have my ankle swollen up like this by the end of the night. My sciatic nerve wasn't exploding. I did still get some knee pain, but it was because of the way I was sitting. I had to learn to stretch my legs and stand up a little bit more. Whoop-de-doo-dah. I can take that versus the swelling and the total back pain where I can't even feel my legs and feet sometimes. So if you have any doubts about if you'll like it or how you'll feel riding it, who the flip cares what people think? You are there to have fun. Go have fun. Who the flip cares if it's not the ideal situation when you're not at Disney? You're at Disney. The only way you're going to get around for 10 miles a day, if you can't walk across a Walmart parking lot and not feel like you're going to die by the time you get into Walmart, you're not going to be able to walk Disney. It's just not going to happen. Go enjoy it. Get the scooter. Get that freedom. I loved it, you guys. I was so afraid of how I would feel, how I would think people are looking at me. I decided to not think about that. I decided to think, you know what? I am here, number one. I am here at Disney. Hello, it's Disney World. Number two, I got to go do everything until the rain hit. But I got to go do everything that I wanted to do. There was no, I kind of felt bad because there'd be sometimes I'd be looking over my shoulder. You still there, hon? Need me to slow down? I mean, he even says, I was trying to keep up with your mom. You know, he got used to walking in hyperdrive versus my slow snail crawl that we'd have to do all the time. It was wonderful. It was just completely fantastic. I could go on and on. It just made it worth it. It really did. It made our trip 10 times better than I ever thought it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be fun anyway. Okay, I'm going to quit ranting because I'm sure this video is probably like 20 minutes long or 30 minutes long or who knows. I'm long-winded.
Well, it's about hitting 16, so.
Oh, well, hey, that's not as horrible as I thought it would be. Then we're good. So I hope
Right
this
there.
helped. I hope this helped. Thank you, babe. And I hope that if you're having any doubts that you just rent the scooter. Just do it. You know, it's worth, you know, the, what, 100, I think I spent a total of 145 on mine. Upgrade yourself, though. Don't go with the cheapest company. Go with Tanner or Buena Vista. And just enjoy your trip. I hope that helped, guys. If you have any questions, please ask. I will look up the information and find out for you or let you know how you can find out. And, excuse me, I appreciate all comments. If you're new, please subscribe. If you liked it, give me a big old thumbs up. And I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.